All right, so it was a long, hard, and expensive decision, but I think I'm finally switching to Mac. So today we're finally taking a look at the Apple MacBook M3 Pro, but not just any Pro, the Pro Max, man. So I got the M3 Max right inside of this box, and I'm excited to see how it compares to this big old beast of a PC right here, as well as my other travel laptop, the Microsoft Surface Pro. So let's get this thing open. And then you just crank it open, and good Lord, check that out, man. So this is the new MacBook Pro, as you can see. Got this thing kind of specced out. So this configuration here is a 16-core CPU, 40-core GPU, as well as 48 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte storage SSD. So if you take a look at Apple's actual website, that actually does add up to a fair amount, especially when you consider different pricing tiers when it comes to like a Windows laptop or something. You can still get up in that range, but sometimes it feels like you get a lot more. But this new M3 chip, the Apple Silicon chip, is actually very impressive from what I hear. So I want to see just how it performs in daily tasks, and mostly for video production like myself, man. I'm a content creator, and a lot of you guys out there probably do a lot of content creation as well. So I'm excited to see just what this M3 Max is capable of. Inside here we got the 14-inch MacBook Pro in space black. Before we take a look at that, let's take a look at our accessories. So in the box, you actually get a nice little MagSafe cable, and it's black too, which is actually extremely dope. So it's supposed to actually match the outside case of the MacBook Pro. And then in here, small little brochure. Okay, some nice little space black stickers. And then alongside the actual MagSafe USB is the power brick. And I believe this one is 96 watts for fast charging. Moment of truth. Let's get this MacBook open, man. And there it is. Jeez, check that out. My hands are feeling extremely kind of sweaty right now, and I know that this is sort of a big point for a lot of people when it comes to the new MacBook Pros, is how fingerprint resistant it is. And Apple actually claims that this is a very resistant aluminum that they built the outer casing with. So it's supposed to be able to repel thumbs and fingerprints, and I kind of want to try it. All right, so what we got here, man? It's doing pretty good. I mean, I didn't want to do that because I'm very, I don't like fingerprints and I wipe things down often. So that was kind of concerning. Though I won't gripe on that for too long because I feel like every video about the MacBook Pro is always just talking about fingerprints, and it's really not that important. It's a laptop. So moving along. Face properly. So now we got this thing started up. As you can see, this is the opening screen, the startup screen. It's gonna let me choose my laptop language, and I mean that's about as far as I've gotten before. I've not used the new generation of MacBooks. I actually have never owned a MacBook before, so this is quite the jump from any other Apple product I've ever used in the past. It's been upwards of 5, maybe even 10 years since I've really dived into using a Mac product, other than my iPhone that I use every day. But let's get this thing started up and kind of go through the main menu. There's actually a fingerprint scanner right here too. That's pretty sick. Go ahead and select English. Accessibility, I'm gonna go ahead and skip that for now. Select my Wi-Fi. But yeah, in the meantime, let's talk about this presentation. The actual speakers, you can see them right here. They blend in really nicely on the 14-inch. I went with the 14-inch mostly because I'm gonna be using this on the go. As you can see, I got a pretty big computer rig here for most of my video editing and gaming and things like that. But this is gonna be my new workhorse. I'm kind of curious to see if it might even replace this. I'm not really too sure how much power is packed into this M3 Pro Max chip, but I've heard a ton of good things and I've seen a million tests. I may or may not run it through some Cinebench tests and compare it to my main machine in this specific video, but make sure you subscribe because I will be eventually comparing this to my Surface Pro, which is not really a contender, as well as my big 3080 and 13 Gen i9 processor in here, as well as DDR5 RAM, 64 gigabytes of that, and Me being who I am, I cannot help but notice that this keyboard is actually very nice. It is a low profile, as you would see typically on any other laptop, or that's kind of interesting. I'm trying to type in a spot where I'm not supposed to type, but it's making a cool noise. So that's your sound test for this video. But yeah, the actual keyboard has a decent amount of travel, and it's very satisfying to press. But I'll really know how much I enjoy this keyboard with long-term testing. There's a Touch ID, and I've been missing Touch ID since my old iPhone 5. I'm telling you. I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up, and that's gonna make getting into my MacBook so much easier. And a lot of people might feel some type of way about Touch ID, but that's one fingerprint I want to put on this MacBook. It also asks if you want to set up Apple Pay via your MacBook. I may end up doing that later on, but we're gonna skip through. I want to get to the main menus, man. You can choose your look. I got a light. You can choose between light, dark, and auto, which will switch back and forth, I presume. I'm a guy that likes dark, and I got the space black to kind of go with it. So I mean, it's taking quite a bit to choose the look, and we're in. Now this is where, wait a minute, is that the wallpaper it starts with? Let me double check and see if there's any kind of like updates I need to run before customizing everything to the way I like it. I'm gonna go straight to general preferences and check out the software update. Woo. So yeah, man, it actually arrived with the brand new Sonoma 14.1, the Mac OS. So there's no updating to really do. Considering that I've already got my Wi-Fi set up and things like that, I want to go in and kind of dial in the appearance. Also turn off the feature where it'll turn on your night light. The True Tone, that's what I was trying to say. It's actually in the displays options. Yeah, so right here, I'll turn off the True Tone. The reason why I want to turn that off is because when I'm editing videos and try to color grade and tweak the actual white balance, that's gonna kind of give me some issues when I'm working at night and I may not remember that it's turned on. And yeah, that's gonna, just trust me, turn it off if you do any kind of color grading. And I'm also dying to kind of clear up a lot of that clutter at the bottom of the screen, just because it's doing a lot. I definitely want to turn on the percentage for the battery, which will come up in the top corner right there. Well, so that's in the control center settings. Hit to turn that percentage on. You can also show it in the control center, but I don't think I'll need to worry about that. So there's actually a desktop and dock settings, and that's what I'll kind of fiddle with as well. Is you can change the different size of the actual dock, so you can shrink it down really small if you like to. I won't be doing that, but I will actually activate the setting when you can automatically hide and reveal the dock when you kind of, you know, scroll down to the bottom of the screen. And here is the wallpaper section, man. Let me go ahead and switch it in. I want to see if I can get that brand new, where's that brand new wallpaper? There it is, Pro Black. This is the Pro Black setting. This is the one you see on all the promotionals. Go ahead and reduce that. Don't want to do no Wi-Fi calling as a moment. Now I'm sure there's probably plenty of more options I can go in and tweak to make sure this thing is running at optimum performance and just customize to my liking. If that is something that you want to see, make sure you comment down below, and maybe I'll do another video just kind of walking through the setup process. This is the MacBook Pro M3 Pro Max, 14-inch that is. Yeah, man, I'm super impressed. If you take a look at just the actual presentation of this thing, it's pretty stellar. Apple very rarely cuts corners. What's that? I just got a text? I don't know if I like that. Like I was saying though, so Apple very rarely cuts corners when it comes to the actual presentation of their products. The performance on this one is probably not cutting any corners either. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and test out for a little bit. This is kind of like a first impressions video of my new MacBook Pro. And I'll be doubling back to YouTube to post my actual review for this after I've gotten a chance to run it through its paces, use it for like at least a week or two, and just kind of get comfortable with it. Because like I said, I did come from PCs and Windows-based computers, so this might be a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm thinking I'm up for the challenge, man. So if you guys like what you see, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button, or at least drop a like just because you like the new MacBook Pro 14-inch or the 16-inch. Let me know in the comments if you would get the 14-inch or the 16-inch and why. For me, I got it for travel because it's a little bit more portable, and I mean, I don't think there's that many sacrifices when it comes to performance versus the 14-inch or the 16-inch. It's a lot of different videos out there that are testing that. I didn't see anything that was really worth the extra size and space to try to fit in my other small bags when I already have enough gear to worry about. But the 14-inch is actually, it's not giving like iPad size. It's a nice little size for like a laptop and a notebook. Just for comparison, this is my MacBook Pro, my MacBook Pro. Just for comparison, this is my Microsoft Surface, and it's really pretty similar in sizing. You know what I mean? It's actually a little bit smaller. I'll put it on top just to kind of give that idea here. You can see a little bit of the overlap. It's a little bit smaller. but the actual screen and performance and the chip specifically is really gonna put this thing out of commission. This is very much obsolete in my workflow. But yeah, man, with that being said, this is the Apple MacBook Pro 14-inch, the Pro Max, and so many freaking letters and digits. The MacBook Pro M3 Pro Max. Yeah, man. Thanks for watching, and I'll keep you guys updated. Peace.